Today I got potentially one of the best late birthday presents I have ever received because today, January 10th, 2021, Nitro Type's leaderboards have been removed. This is massive, and I want to explain everything that this is going to affect because for the past month or so, I didn't think this was going to happen. I haven't been talking about it much because I honestly thought Nitro Type was not going to do it, and then today they did. So this means a lot for the future of Nitro Type. Let's get right into it. But first, I want to explain what actually happened. If you go to nitrotype.com/leaderboards, you will see this page, top teams for the last 7 days, and all it is top teams for the last 7 days. We no longer have 24-hour or all-time or 30 season, anything like that. We don't have any of those leaderboards, and we don't have the Hall of Fame, but I'll get to that in a second. So this top teams for the last 7 days page is literally just that. It's the top teams for the last 7 days. Something I said in my video where I talked about Nitro Type removing the leaderboards so that teams wouldn't really have a purpose after they did so, and this kind of gave teams a purpose. It's just a 7-day leaderboard. We've seen this thing before. It's pretty standard. But one of the biggest things that they removed was the entirety of player leaderboards. This means that there is no longer a leaderboard for players whatsoever. So this means as an individual grinder, you almost have no motivation other than King of the Race cars, which are pretty pointless anyways, and stuff like that. So this may put a pretty big end to the concept of individual grinding and maybe shift it more onto team grinding, although I don't know what's going to happen to the competitive scene after this. Another thing that was removed completely is the all-time races Hall of Fame and the all-time speed Hall of Fame. I totally have no issues with this. I think that the all-time races Hall of Fame was pretty dumb considering, it's just whoever can do the most races in all time. But it was honestly one of my quote-unquote favorite leaderboards because if you're going to reward anyone with fame, then at least it could be those people who actually do the impressive things. And then the second thing that was removed was the all-time Speed Hall of Fame. This is great because the all-time Speed Hall of Fame was stupid because everyone was botting and there was no legitimate players on it. So yeah, pretty basic remove. Another cool little update is if you go to nitrotype.com/teams, if you're in the recruitment page, which looks like this from the top. It looks like this. You can find some teams to join. Another thing that you can do if you scroll down is you can see recent top teams. So this top 7-day leaderboard team thing has been transported to the team page as well if you're looking for a team, so you can see what the best teams are and apply based on that. Pretty helpful feature. I like it. I have no issues with that. However, I think this is going to be one of the biggest updates Nitro Type's seen in a long time, and I wanted to talk about how this is going to impact the game for a couple minutes. So first things first, as I said earlier, there is now almost zero reason to actually grind as an individual on Nitro Type. This is pretty big because it'll stop people like those massive all-time grinders from actually playing the game a lot, and they'll probably move on to things like other typing websites, maybe other video games, maybe like IRL things, and maybe just trying to use Nitro Type to get faster instead of to do more races, which is ultimately a amazing thing, and that's a great goal to go for. And so I think the issue of major player singular grinding is definitely going to go down a lot, and races are also probably going to go down a lot because people are normally doing tens of thousands of races every single season if they're not botting, of course, but they're usually doing large amounts of races to get on top of the leaderboards. However, now that's not going to happen because there's no reason to do that. I think team competition is also going to be extremely scuffed because there is now only the 7-day leaderboard, and that switches off a lot. And being on the 7th day leaderboard for a team is not necessarily a big deal because unlike a season, there's no everlasting glory about it, right? If your team wins a season, at least you have the theory of being on that season page for a very long time. People are going to notice you, etc., etc. However, if you're on the 7-day leaderboard once and then you drop off as a team, then it's not really that big of a deal because people may look at you a couple times and then you'll just be forgotten about. So I think that teams may end up being less competitive. I think overall activity is just going to go down completely as the whole point for grinding a lot of races has just been removed. But I still think people are going to try and get on this leaderboard. I think it's a good place for people to do so, and I definitely think that grinding and activity and all those types of things are not going to go away. It's going to be really weird for grinders to look at this site and be like, I have no purpose anymore. In fact, someone posted a meme on Discord that I laughed at. It was a grinders, it was a photo of like a grinder, and the text was like, I have no purpose on Nitro Type, and I kind of laughed at that. But it's kind of also true, right? There isn't much of a point in grinding on Nitro Type anymore, right? They remove things like the leaderboards, the Hall of Fame, big activity, things like that. So there's not much of a purpose for doing large amounts of races, which is great because this site should not be about doing large amounts of races. This also opens up the opportunity for Nitro to invest more money into other projects. According to Travis and other admins I've spoke to, the leaderboards were extremely expensive for them to keep up, and now that they only have to do one leaderboard instead of a bunch of leaderboards and a Hall of Fame, they should theoretically have more money to put into other projects. This could mean doing sponsorship things with like keyboard companies and stuff, hosting speed tournaments, hosting other tournaments. They have more options nowadays, and I think a lot of that, like, time and money should be put into finding another solution for competitive play, because Nitro is a competitive typing game. It's literally on the front page, and so I don't think there's going to be a way for this site to be a big site without there being some form of competition. The activity leaderboards were the big form of competition for a while, but now that that's not really a thing, maybe Nitro should reach out into other, areas of competition. If that's like a speed tournament, a speed bracket tournament, that would be pretty cool, or like 1v1s and stuff. Just a couple ideas, and I've heard a lot of really good ideas from a lot of different people, and I think that Nitro has a bunch of different options and places to go if they want to do other sorts of team competition or solo competition. But I think one of the biggest or most interesting things that's going to happen is what the grinders do, because, there's not much of a point in grinding, so I want to see, if the grinders move on to other games, if they move on to other life stuff, or if they actually use the site to get faster. I really want to see that. Like, it would be super cool to see Wildflower or something like that, like, zooming up to 130 words per minute, because, finally starts practicing and stuff. But that'd be really funny in my opinion. But overall, I think we're just honestly waiting to see what happens. The leaderboards, the admins acted on it. The leaderboards have been removed. Now it's up to Nitro and the community to figure out what they're actually going to do with this game. And that choice is up to the community. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I don't know, like and subscribe. Road to 10K, guys. Yeah, we're going to get there eventually. But this video was basically just to bring up the issue of the leaderboards were finally removed. Yay, or possibly no for a lot of you guys who might have liked the leaderboards. Put your gosh darn comments down in the comments section. I want to hear what you guys think. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next video. Please write an extremely long and annoying comment about what you think about this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.